If you haven't been sleeping under a stone recently, you probably have seen our game Princeton get released on the platform. Well, it's not really open for everyone because you have to join the Discord server for the game and also the group in order to even hop on, and sessions are hosted pretty much every day at this point, but only at certain times in certain time zones. But soon there will be more SSUs hosted. So now let me tell you how the game is going and some future updates that I think people are gonna really enjoy. Starting off, we got the recent patch, which was the chassis overhaul. The developers decreased acceleration for all vehicles to allow for far more controlled handling. Steering has been tweaked to be far more fluid and manageable. So far, we have actually had a lot of people complain about the turning when it comes to the vehicles, because the vehicles were a bit crazily turnable and was actually quite hard to, drive normally without accidentally running off the road. Now next up, we also got the gun store revamp, which improved the overall gun store in the game, which is just awesome to see. And then of course you got the main menu revamp, so the main menu is a lot better now. That's cool. And we also got some general vehicle improvements and bug fixes, which is awesome, meaning that there are a lot of bugs that have been fixed, so you no longer will have to expect them in the game. Now that's for now. We have had a lot of patches recently, a lot of cool updates, a lot of overall in-game improvements, and coming soon, like really soon, you get the Princeton Fire Department, you got a trucking job, and much more. Now, I'm not gonna be able to tell you too much about this because we still want it to be, a little bit special. But yes, there will be a functional trucking job, a functioning fire department, and much more. And by much more, I mean much more. There will be a lot of future updates that are gonna be even bigger, but this is a big change to the game because it will bring in an actually working economy system. And an economy system will make players actually enjoy the game 100% more. I can promise you that, because there will be actual things to do more than just run around and shoot cops. Now, me and Rarefish have been talking a little bit about some in-game features, okay? Not just in-game features, but relations to the game itself. First of all, when it comes to mobile, we have kind of started thinking how it would possibly be possible to bring mobile on this game. Now, it's probably doable. It is. But at this moment, a mobile device cannot handle the game. I mean, you can probably hop on and stuff, but it's not going to be the most enjoyable experience for a mobile user. And that's also something that I want to mention before I continue about the mobile stuff, that they're actually currently focusing on trying to improve overall performance, because the game has been a little laggy. And everyone who has played it has noticed the pockets of lag that sometimes just hits you from the back in the behind. And I mean, it's going to be an overall improvement that people are gonna love. Less lag. Who does not love less lag? But that's not really interesting to talk about. Mobile users don't have many good games to play. That's the truth. But here's the thing. We want to make sure that the enjoyment is greater than the device. Okay, we want people to really enjoy the game, meaning that if we have a bunch of, mobile players on the game and the devices are exploding, trying to, hop on, maybe that's not very enjoyable. You tell me. But yes, the chance of mobile being added to the game has kind of decreased over time when we actually took a look at how big the game will be and how many mechanics and features there will be in the game that it's going to be really hard to even implement on mobile. Now, for console is still actually being worked on, so console is almost certain to be accepted onto here, but it's also a little bit hard considering all the guidelines for console users. So at the moment you can probably not play on console, but there will most likely be a time where you can play on console, which I think is great because a lot of people play on console and don't have a PC, and that's kind of why I even wanted the mobile users to be able to play the game. But we all know that maybe you won't receive the best roleplay and all that kind of stuff from a mobile user. Not being disrespectful here, but we want the best roleplay, keeping the community a little smaller yet amazing. Okay, the game will open up to the public sooner this year. It will, but in order for that to work out, we need realistic roleplay, because we do not want to be the next ERLC or the next cash grab. We want to be more of an actual community. And no, I'm not saying ERLC is cash grab. I'm just saying that we do not want to be like every other roleplay game out there. We want to be a little bit unique, and therefore we're considering, and I'm just saying this, we're considering trying to keep the community more realistic with key departments. Let's say you got the fire department, with the chief of the fire department being, you know, an actual person who has a lot of experience. And then for some other coming jobs, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's one more job that I think is gonna be actually revolutionary on this platform. I'm not even kidding, this is insane. The head of development has actually gotten a lot of upcoming vehicles, tools, and stuff for some really cool teams that are inbound to come. You know, soon we got the trucking job and fire department job, but there is another thing that you have to keep in mind. What will the trucking job be? What will the truckers do? And it's actually connected to a different job that's actually gonna come in a later update. But yes, there is some cool stuff on the way, and a lot of stuff is gonna be improved over time. And I really want y'all to join up the Discord server and head down to the bug report section and project suggestions, so that after or before you have even played the game, you can place your suggestions for it. And when you have been playing for a while, you can also report any bug that you notice, because it's still in its beta phase, and we want to make sure that the bugs are gone before, you know, publishing the game to the public. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to bring as much information about the game as possible right now before even releasing the game itself, because people would be pissed if the game is just horrible, like if there are bugs everywhere and stuff. So, you know, we want to keep it realistic that way, and I think most people understand what I'm saying here. No, we're not gonna be this crazily realistic roleplay game. We're not gonna enforce, you know, full-on whitelist to play the game. No, it will be completely public, everyone can play it, but the game will probably not have thousands of players like, for example, ERLC and, you know, Southwest Florida, because we will not have XP systems and all that kind of stuff. We will just have a working economy system, and then a bunch of cool roleplay jobs and stuff to do. And I mean, these are gonna be interactable jobs, so, you know, you're gonna be able to do stuff. It's not gonna be, you know, completely boring, but we want to make sure that there's enough stuff to do in a small area of the game that everyone who joins up will actually enjoy what they're playing. As of right now, we know that the map will expand. Certain parts will be changed with the map, the current map, but the main focus right now is not expanding the map. It's, you know, expanding the features within the map, such as enterable buildings, small businesses, all that kind of good stuff, because it really brings the community closer. And who, you know, drives up out the countryside when there's a big town where the rest of the servers, you get me? We want to make sure that the most important features of the game is what we focus on, not some boring part that nobody even cares about. Now I can tell you there's a lot coming for the police team as well. There will be multiple departments and stuff, but that's still for the future, so I'm not gonna, you know, say too much just yet. But there are some interesting things coming very soon, and people will really love it, I promise you. Now for civilian and police, there's still a lot you can do right now. For example, as a cop, you are able to help people who are wounded by applying aid, and that's an actual feature in the game, so you can apply aid to wounded people. And I think that's pretty cool. Now you have to imagine this for example, the fire department. Only fighting fires might be a little boring, but if there are like other roleplay features implemented, for example, applying aid to, you know, downed people, maybe that will bring some more fun to the team, and maybe people will really enjoy that. You know, we got a lot of good ideas that are inbound, but we do not want to rush anything through, because we want to make the experience the best overall compared to any other game that I have been part of in the past. You know, we want to have the experience rather than the size and all that kind of stuff, because what I can remember from back in like 2020 when I got into the RP world, Roblox, is that the communities were much more small. They were a lot more fun. I can even remember some of the experiences I've had compared to now. You know, a lot of games these days are not even fun to play. Take a look at Berkeley County V1. It was a tight community. Then look at the V2 update. The game was completely changed. Now there were more, you know, kids and stuff playing, so, you know, role plays weren't as good and all that kind of stuff. But we are not the type of people who are gonna not let kids play. We are gonna let kids play, but we want to make sure that, you know, we don't have any hyperactive people causing mass RDM all the time and stuff like that, because that gets pretty boring. Either way, hop on the next SSU if you want to, you know, check out the game yourself. Now remember, there are big updates coming, so don't expect the beta version to be the perfect version of this game. It's not the finished state. So therefore, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully you all will have a great rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye.